Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel. So as promised, here is the Q&A that we said we would do on Friday. So we got way more questions than we anticipated that we were going to get. So we're not going to get a chance to answer all of them, unfortunately, but we've just chosen some really random ones, and yeah, we'll shout out your name as well.
So the first question is from Jamp1982, and they said, who are your favorite YouTubers and who do you watch regularly? My favorite YouTuber, hands down, is Casey Neistat. His vlogs are incredible. The production value, there's always something going on. Yeah. He's the king of vlogging, and I watch him every single morning when I eat my breakfast. My
favorite YouTubers would probably be, I love to watch Shelly B and Yang, Persian Babe.
You watch Desi Perkins all the time?
Yeah, I get into Desi as well. Yeah, Desi and her whole Goals crew. I watch all of them. Not all the time, but you know, whenever I do come across their video, production is just always so amazing.
Okay, so Rayma XO has asked us, are we planning on coming back to Dubai? We're not actually planning a trip, but we'd definitely love to come back one day. We had a blast while we're there.
It's definitely a cool city. Sarah Caris asks, do you prefer vaginal birth or cesarean? Well, since I haven't done.
Sounds, sorry, I'm being immature.
It only sounds
I'm being
immature. It is a perfectly normal word. I haven't done either, so I don't have a preference, but if I do both, I will let you know.
In a movie about you guys, who would play you? I would like to think maybe Ryan Gosling would play me.
You reckon? Yeah, actually, I could see that. Who would play me?
Probably Naomi Campbell. You don't really look like Naomi Campbell, but
I don't have her attitude.
Really... Thank God.
I guess Naomi Campbell.
So Collie Sue 86 says, how many kids do you want? I kind of like the whole 3 kids, you know, either 2 girls, 1 boy, 2 boys, 1 girl scenario. Sounds pretty good to me, but...
You don't want 3 girls?
I would kind of like 1 of each. I mean, realistically, you don't you want 1 of each, or you just want 3 girls?
No, I didn't. No, I never said that. I don't mind. I honestly don't care.
Okay. Yeah, I think 3, but I think realistically, it's one of those things you can't really estimate. It's just you figure it out as you go along.
We'll see how the first one goes. We'll see how Ava goes, and then we will decide if we'll have any more kids after that.
If she behaves like me when she's young, we'll probably just have 1. If she behaves like her, we'll probably have 10.
The Real Beauty on Instagram asks, why don't you and Jamie show all sides of your relationship? It's either you never argue or you guys are really that perfect. I just don't see the point of putting up your arguments on YouTube, to be honest. I think marriage is very sacred, and to have all those opinions out there of people that we don't really even know that well and don't know us personally, to have their input on our fights, I think that's just a recipe for disaster. Like, I just don't see the point of doing that. But I also think that some people love drama. Drama is very entertaining.
And personally for me, when I edit a vlog, I edit it with the mind state of, this is something that is going to be our home videos. These are going to be videos that not only we're going to look back at in our future, the videos that our kids and our grandkids are going to look back at. And I think about, what memories from this day do I want to capture most for the rest of my life? And I don't want to capture a fight. I want to capture the fun stuff. That's the stuff you want to remember. That's the important stuff.
Yeah. Paris_flyin_May asks, I think you guys would be amazing for a TV show. And if you guys would you want a reality TV show? I think I would reject the idea of reality TV. I like the idea of being able to be in control of what people see. And as I mentioned earlier, like with the fights and stuff, you know, I think reality TV would really push for that. Like, yo, let's see Jamie like throw something at Nikki. Let's see Nikki like storm out of the house, and oh, it's gonna be amazing. Like, you know what I mean?
We've actually got friends who've been on reality TV shows, and we know what goes on behind the scenes and the way that they always, real. Yeah, it's never real. They script a lot of it, and B, they always push for drama as well, and they twist things that aren't even that dramatic.
Turn people against each other. Like, yeah, I think That's just disaster.
Like, yeah, I don't think I'd really want to do reality TV. African Beauty 87 has asked, what editing software do we use? We edit everything on Premiere Creative Cloud 2015. To be honest, we don't really do anything fancy with our editing. Pretty much the most popular thing that's edited in our vlogs is when I edit to the music, sort of, you know, little montagey stuff, and
that's just something you learn as you go.
yeah, it's not any fancy editing techniques. It's just editing to the music. I do with my professional videos, do like special effects and stuff like that in Premiere, which you can do, but for vlogging, you can edit on anything. Premiere, Final Cut, Avid, DaVinci, they all pretty much do the same, even like iMovie.
_ Anna Love 1 asks, what hair or unit is that? Please provide full details. I'm not wearing a unit. This is a full sew-in with a closure. A lot of people get confused as to whether I wear a wig or a weave, but yeah, I do wear a weave. I haven't worn a wig since like 2-3 years ago.
Since it fell off at the beach.
Since it came off at the beach. This hair is from Whitney Marie UK. I always leave my hair information in the description box. Just go check the description. There's a link to where to get my hair every single video. My Life is Luck asked, if you were having a boy, what would you name him? When I thought we were having a boy, I really loved the name Michael, and I was actually calling our baby Michael, and it was annoying Nikki because she wasn't feeling that name. There's nothing wrong with the name Michael. Michael's a nice name, but it's just not a name that I picture myself naming my son. No offense to any Michaels out there, because it's a perfectly fine name, but I just feel like it's just not a name that I would call my son. Michael's, I got your back. I like the name Michael. I think it's strong. So if we have a son, he's gonna push definitely for the name Michael. But yeah, obviously, I'm not budging. Yeah. It's not happening. So fortunately, we got a girl because Ava was the only name we could agree on. Martina Asabi asks, what's your favorite part about being pregnant? And Jamie, is it hard having a pregnant woman around the house? My favorite part about being pregnant is just feeling her movements and reading on my app and seeing like, you know, what she's doing in that week, like how she's developing, what changes are happening in her body and my body and like us together. And it's just always fun to like read all that and be like, oh my god, she has fingernails now, or you know, she's got hair on top of her head this week. It's like really interesting. I don't want to just answer the second part of that question. I'm going to answer the first as well. And one of my favorite parts is feeling Ava move, because I don't feel her inside of me. So Nikki obviously has this connection with her that I don't have. So when I feel her move, when I lay down, I have my hands on Nikki's stomach, or when I kiss Nikki's stomach and I feel her move, I feel like I'm connecting with her, and I imagine her in my arms and what she's going to be like. And that's probably my favorite part of it. Maybe my least favorite part of it is, I guess, having to watch what I say. And obviously, as I spoke about this in a previous vlog, I tend to open my mouth without thinking and tend to hurt Nikki's feelings sometimes just with dumb stuff. 9 times out of 10, I genuinely am upset about stuff, but he will blame it on the hormones. That's probably the most frustrating part. I've just got a big mouth. And it's not just Jamie, it's everyone. If I'm upset about anything, the first thing people say is, oh girls, your hormones. It's like, no, I have a valid point. Listen to me. So Zion Judy, she said, how long were you trying to get pregnant? So we tried for about 8 months. Yeah. Took a while. _ Samantha Seymour on Instagram asks, are you going to be vlogging at the hospital? This is still something that I'm debating. I'm just not sure like how comfortable I feel vlogging my birth. I'm really back and forth about it. One week I'm okay with it, the next week I'm not. So I guess I'll just see how I feel on the day. We'll bring our camera equipment just in case. But if I don't want to be filmed, then I'm just not going to be filmed. And I'm not going to be pressured to, you know, film my birth and put it out there for millions of people to see if I don't want that to happen. So yeah, it's one of those things. You have to feel comfortable. Like we spoke about this and I was like, look, if you don't feel comfortable with it on the day, if you're going through all this pain and you're, you know, like struggling to focus on pushing a baby out of you, you don't want to have to be struggling to focus on being on camera at the same time, because that's just going to make things twice as stressful. So
whatever Nikki decides on the day, I support 100%, and I hope you guys do too.
Josie Peters with 2 S's asks, what does Ava's first outfit look like?
That's a good question.
Probably just a onesie. I'm not going to put her in anything too fancy at the hospital because, you know, I just want her to be comfortable. There is this like bamboo onesie that we got. That maybe will probably be her first outfit if she fits in it because it's just so comfortable. I want her to be comfortable when she's born. So probably just something really comfy like that.
Callie Love XX has asked, have you ever been back to South Sudan? And if not, do you ever want to go?
No, I haven't been back since I left in 1994. So I was 4 years old when I moved to Australia. I haven't been back and I would love to go back one day. It's just not the safest environment right now. I would love to show Ava where
I that would be amazing.
But I would have to go with my mum and dad because I would have no idea like where we lived or what we did. PTX Junkie asks, who do you plan to have in the birthing suite with you? So at the moment I plan to have Jamie and my sister. Because you're only allowed 2 people.
I made it.
You made the list.
I made the cut.
High five. I was almost going to cut your ass out. But then I was
like, I was going to faint?
Yeah, exactly. I don't need no fainting people in there.
If you ain't going to be awake, you don't need to be in there.
Exactly. Wasting the freaking space. Just fainting on the floor. And everyone, all the medical people just...
I don't want to steal none of your doctors.
Exactly.
You're like, and you're like, guys, can I get some help over here? And they're like, wait, hold up. And you're just like Kourtney Kardashian it, pulling your own baby out.
I would splash water on your ass so fast. Also, Nizzy asks, what do you do when you feel a bit down? So when I'm down, I clean or I go for a really long walk just to clear my head. Or I just sit there in silence and scroll through Instagram.
And me, I go for a long drive or a long walk. Generally listen to music. Used to write music. I should probably get back into that because that used to help as well. JMMimi1213 has asked, what is your profession exactly? So I used to be a videographer. I used to shoot a lot of music videos, tour videos, stuff like that. Recently, I have just become a full-time YouTuber. YouTube is what we do for a living now, which is incredible. Like, I still struggle to call it work because it's just such an amazing opportunity. But basically, it's kind of crazy. Basically, my film career was starting to take off at the same time our channel really started to expand, and it was like, well, I could do this, or I could make YouTube a full-time job at the most amazing part of our life and stay home with my family and get to be a stay-at-home dad. And it's like the coolest job in the world, and I have you guys to thank for it. So that's what we do. Manira
X asked, hey Nikki, are you going to be a stay-at-home mom or are you going to go back to nursing? So I was doing nursing up until a few months ago, like a little bit after I found out I was pregnant, because I just didn't want the stress of all that and pregnancy. So I kind of took a break. I did say that I was going to go back in February, which now that I think about it, very soon. I think I'm just going to push that back a little bit and just spend time with my daughter. Because if you have the opportunity to spend time with your daughter and to be at home and be a stay-at-home mum and work from home, why not? It's
definitely going to give her great bonding time with her mum and with her dad. Like, it's going to be an amazing time.
I don't have anyone in particular that I could shout out for this question, but I get this question a lot. Are you going to breastfeed? Yes, I do plan on breastfeeding. I think it's a really important like bond between mummy and daughter. So I'm definitely going to do that.
I'd do it if I could, but these guys just don't work like that.
You could just be jelly of our like bonding skills.
I am going to be a bit jelly of your bond.
I know you were going to be jelly actually. Someone asked as well, are you going to be jealous of the baby when the baby comes, do you think?
I don't know. I hope not. I feel like the mother and the child's bond is always stronger than the baby and the father. So there might be times where I sort of see your bond and wish that mine was as strong, but hopefully it will be. I've never had a kid before, so I don't really know what to expect. So if your bond is a lot stronger than mine, I think realistically I probably would get a bit jealous, but hopefully she loves us both equally.
I'm sure she will.
Paris Flying May, do you have any horrible date stories?
Oh yeah, I did a
she had a lot of good questions.
Shout out to Paris Flying,
She
mate.
had some cool questions. You know what? That's a question I always love asking people. What's your worst date story? You're so boring because most of the dates you've gone on in your life were with me. So what's the worst date you've ever gone on with me?
Yeah, guys before you never really took me on dates like that. So.
Did I ever take you on any really bad dates aside from that beach date?
No, that wasn't even a bad date though. That was a
really
probably
fun
the
date, actually.
funnest date I've been on. What's your horrible date story?
You know I've told you my bookstore date, yeah? My bookstore date.
Totally long, hun. We have to cut it down.
Yo,
we
so
all know how Jamie loves to talk, man. This whole video will be like 30 minutes long.
Yo, real quick. Worst date I ever went on. Met up with a girl. She wanted to meet up at a bookstore. She said she wanted to buy a new book. I said, okay, cool. Let's start off at the bookstore. Go to the bookstore. She says, do you mind if I just read a couple of pages? I'm like, yeah, sure. She's going to take 2 seconds. I sit down on a seat. Half an hour later, she stops reading the book. She pretty much read the whole book in the store. Funnily enough, it was He's Just Not That Into You. That was the book that she was wanting to buy. No exaggeration. I'm sitting there awkwardly like reading books and magazines. Is this girl just really not into me? What's going on? She buys the book. She buys the book, and at this point, I'm really annoyed. And she's like, okay, let's go get some lunch. So I'm like, okay, let's just go get lunch. Let's get this date over with. We go, we get lunch. She's sitting there like taking phone calls during the date to people. Like, it was just like the biggest hint. She was not into me whatsoever.
Why didn't you just leave?
I know, I should have just got up and be like, all right, cool. It was nice to meet you.
Like, I see you're not interested, like later.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just do that?
Because I'm too nice.
But how is that nice, just being rude as hell?
I know, huh? And then to make things worse, because I just have it in me, the guy is always supposed to pay for the first date. We get to the counter, I pay for our meals. She yells at me in front of the girl saying, you ain't paying for my meal. What makes you think I can't pay for myself?
Miss Independent, yeah.
And I'm like, okay then. And so then I'm like, all right, cool, have a nice day, we leave. She sends me a text. Thank you so much for today. It was really great finally going out with you. I'm like, wait, what? And so I write back to her. I'm like, haha, you got jokes. Anyway, I see you're not interested. All the best with your life. She writes back to me, I had a really great time. What's wrong? What did I do wrong? And I'm like, is she messing with me?
Child.
And then I was just like, all right, peace, leave me alone. For weeks, this girl was texting me saying, can I make it up to you? Can we go out again?
Dude, she sounds nuts, yo.
Yo. So that's my worst date story. What's yours?
Wow.
And the scary thing is, I went out with some pretty crazy girls. There was like some crazy runner-ups to that as well.
You were just attracted to crazy.
Sini Giggles says, how did Jamie's parents speak Indonesian? My parents both lived in Indonesia when they were younger. And then they lived in West Papua my mum was there for like 14 years. My dad was there for 12 years. It's actually where they met, and they were missionaries. My mum was a midwife out there, literally like the only midwife in a couple of days walk, like literally in the middle of the jungle. And my dad was out there building schools and churches, and yeah, I lived there when I was a little kid as well. So that's how they speak Indonesian, and how Indonesian was actually my first language, but I can't speak it anymore.
So Tatenda asks, what milestone in Ava's life are you most excited to see? And P.S. can I get a shout out? Ava's due date is my birthday.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
A lot of people say Ava's due date is their birthday. Wow, it's a lot of January 17th people out there. But yeah, what milestone are we most excited?
I'm just looking forward to birth. That's a pretty big milestone. That's like the biggest milestone in anyone's life.
That's true, I'll have to agree. The birth, but then after the birth.
After the birth, when she first starts talking, I'm just looking forward to hear her talk. Sorry, my bad. You should have said it first. I'm already getting impatient about her talking. Like, I just want to be able to talk to her.
Once she's talking and like she's just going to be a blabbermouth.
I think if she takes after me, she's definitely going to be a blabbermouth.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
I kind of want her to take after me in that sense, but at the same time, I kind of want her to be quiet so that I can have peace and quiet. I don't know which I want more.
I think you'd rather a blabbermouth kid.
Yeah.
Because you're a blabbermouth yourself.
Yeah, true.
I would be in the house with 2 blabbermouths. How fun.
It's going to be so much fun having conversations with her and having her tell us about her first experiences. Like, Mom, I saw a dog today. I saw a cat. I touched it. And it was cute. Man, Ava, hurry up and just come out, yeah? Come out talking already.
The way that kids describe stuff is so cute. Yeah, I can't wait for that too.
Nelly Schick said, are you scared of giving birth?
I have my days. Some days I'm like petrified, and other days I'm just totally cool. Like the other day I had false labor contractions, and I had just the worst pelvic pain, and I had contractions in my back that were 5 minutes apart, and I wasn't scared.
Really? You weren't scared?
No. I was like so ready. I was even like making sure I had everything in my hospital bag. Like I was like, okay, this is it. But I wasn't scared. But then, hey, it could happen again, like the real thing, and my water break and all that, and I could just be like completely opposite.
In all honesty, I was scared. I was like, please don't let it be the real deal yet, because I don't want you to have to go through all this pain yet. Like, I'm scared of you going through the pain.
You went very quiet. Yeah.
I do that when I'm scared of something. I just go quiet. Like it's crazy because I'm in a rush to meet Ava. I want to meet her straight away, but at the same time, I think of what it would be like if it was me having to push a baby out of me, and I would be scared. So I put myself in your shoes, and I'm like, no, I don't want you to have to go through that yet. So I sort of go into the same way that I would go into if it was me, which probably isn't the most supportive thing to do.
Khaled's Empire asked this question that everybody has been asking.
Wait, this is the intro one, yeah.
Are you planning on changing your intro when Ava comes along? If so, what ideas do you have? Are you going to keep it a surprise for the viewers? Yes, of course, we're going to change our intro when baby comes along, but don't expect it to be changed straight away, you guys. Like, if I have Ava and then, 2 days later, people asking, how come Ava's not in the intro? I
think she'll be in the end card first. You know how we got that little picture of Louis? There'll probably be a little picture of Ava.
Yeah. Well. She'll be in the end card before she's in the intro, because intro is kind of hard to shoot, especially like all the different shots you have to take, and with a brand newborn, obviously, it'd be very hard.
I'm also scared of not living up to that old intro. I don't want to sound like I got a big head, but I feel like we nailed that intro, and we don't have any ideas for a new intro.
We have no ideas.
None whatsoever.
So if anything does pop up and it turns out to be as good as our old intro, just know that we probably came up with it very last minute. Jojo Del Rey asks, have you guys ever thought of moving out of Australia? To be honest, no, I haven't. Have you?
Short term, like I would love to maybe move to LA or New York for 6 months, because we do YouTube, so it's sort of like we could do that there. Maybe when Ava's a little bit older, I'd definitely love to experience something like that. But long term, I can't imagine living anywhere else other than Melbourne.
Yeah, same. I love Melbourne.
It's funny, the older I get, the more I love Melbourne, especially the more I think about where would I raise my child. And I love Melbourne.
And like the more you travel and see other places. Yeah. Like, other places are nice, but nothing compares to home for me anyway. Yeah,
Melbourne definitely. I've lived a lot of places in my life, and Melbourne's the only place that's ever felt like home. The Better Esther asked, how do you deal with criticism on the internet?
For me, I have my days. Most of the time it doesn't bother me, but some days, I'd see a comment just randomly, just a random comment, and it'll just make me feel some type of way. But I have to just remember that these people are actually wanting this reaction out of me, and I try not to give in. But sometimes, you're human at the end of the day. If you read something about you that's not necessarily the nicest thing, you're not going to always have that positive outlook. But yeah, it just depends on my mood and what day it is, I guess.
Most of the time, it doesn't really bother me. I get more upset when I see people criticizing Nikki than I do myself.
Imagine when they start criticizing your daughter.
Yeah, that's when it's going to bother me.
And that's something that I'm definitely most scared about when it comes to YouTube as well. Because, you see these family vloggers and you see the kind of stuff that they get horrible comments on their page. You're a bad mom, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, your child is this and that, and blah, 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 blah. And people just, they come up with all these crazy assumptions off of just 2 seconds of footage. You could have been doing something on camera, and as soon as the camera went off, you like went and corrected whatever it was, and people don't see that part, and they will just be like, oh my god, I can't believe she left that mess on her baby's face all day. It's like, what? So yeah.
And the truth is, as first-time parents, we're going to make a lot of mistakes.
And it's going to be very hard to like live out those mistakes in public and to have people criticizing you, especially when you're already nervous being a first-time parent, first-time mum especially, because people tend to put that responsibility on the mother, like the mother should know better. So I'm a bit nervous about that, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. Avery's mummy, XOXO, asks, are you having a natural labour?
I don't know. It depends on the day. It depends on my pain tolerance on the day. If I need an epidural, I will take one, gladly. But if I don't, then I won't.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things you just have to take as it comes. You can't walk in there and be like, I'm going to be all natural no matter what. Or you can't walk in there and be like...
9 times out of 10, the people that say that and the people that demand like everything natural and I want music and I want incense and, you know, they're the ones that usually end up having like the most opposite birth experience that they wanted. And I'm not saying this like, oh, you know, you put that out there, so I'm not saying anything like that, but I'm just saying that, you know, your mentality, you got to kind of be a little bit open-minded when it comes to birth, because it's usually does go the complete opposite.
Yeah, it's an unpredictable act of nature. How
you want it to go, yeah. So she is happiness asked, would you donate an organ to Jamie? I would. You? Of course I would donate an organ to you, but we're not the same blood type.
Which one would you give me? And which one wouldn't you give me? Would you give me your liver?
But I only have one.
So, in other words, no.
I'll give you like a kidney. I have 2 of them.
Okay. I would give you my heart. I'm just saying.
Who are you, Will Smith, in freaking 7 pounds? Shut up.
I was actually thinking Denzel Washington. Charlotte Lil Rodway said, how did you get into the world of YouTube, and did you ever expect it to become such a big part of your lives? No way did we ever expect any of this. We never thought we would get 1,000 subscribers. We never thought we'd get 100 subscribers. When we started it, we just started it for fun. It was just a hobby. It was just something that we did for fun. It was for, you know, like memory's sake. It just was something fun that we did.
Kezia Claudine asked, did you have any plastic surgery, Nikki?
What?
I'm not sure which part of me looks plastic, but no, I haven't had any plastic surgery. Anyways, I think that's about all the questions that we sort of picked out. There was quite a few, so I'm sorry if this video is pretty lengthy. But yeah, I hope we did answer your questions.
Thanks heaps for sending through all of your questions. I'm really sorry if we didn't get a chance to answer your one.
Most of the time, like when you guys ask us questions that are really interesting, and it doesn't even have to be on a Q&A, just in the comments, you know, we do go through our comments, and if we do see a comment that's really, really interesting, we will just answer it in the comment section. So if you do have any more questions, please leave them in the comments section down below. We will definitely reply.
Alright, see you guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in our next vlog. Bye.
Bye.